Hi, everybody. So I want you to welcome Melina. Melina has a beautiful website called Wise Old Seeds, and she has a couple of classes up on my website, and she channels Anastasia from the Ringing Cedars. And she's got a lot of amazing gifts, and we're going to talk about that today. And I want to talk about trees today because there's some interesting things that I've heard, and I want to see what she thinks about it. So tell us how you're doing.
I'm doing really well. It's definitely warming up here in Victoria. It's still a little bit cold, but everything's looking like spring. So I'm kind of excited. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're coming to the end of winter now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, end of winter. So yeah, the barrenness of all the deciduous trees, it's coming alive again. So I'm excited.
Yeah, that's really good. I kind of, I wonder where you guys actually are on the map because I know it's wrong. So I
Yeah.
really like to
That's
see where you actually are because I keep
yeah,
getting that you're not where they say in Australia.
yeah.
Mhm.
And this is like totally off subject, but a girlfriend and I went to see Barbie on the weekend. And what stuck out to me was really interesting. There was a map they had, and they had Australia upside down, which was really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. There was some other show, and sorry, we're off topic, guys, but there was some other show from I think the 60s or 70s, and they had an extra island. So
Ah,
there was
okay.
another island right to the left of Australia, and now all of a sudden that island doesn't exist anymore. And it was on the globe that the kids were playing with in the show.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
the map is just totally a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the compass, yeah, the north and south.
Yeah, it's all magnetics. It has nothing to do with, yeah, anything. It's
Yeah.
very weird. So, but so let's talk about your gardening. I want to talk about the seeds
Yes.
because people are going to start gardening again, I think, as
Yep.
individuals. So tell me what you do with them.
Um, we have a beautiful veggie patch garden. Um, we've got two really big size greenhouses. So being in the country and being about 4 degrees less than the actual city, we have to really work hard on our property to keep everything alive with the cold and the frost.
Mhm.
We've also got lots of kangaroos and bunnies taking um, our beautiful crops as well. So we have to protect it
Mhm.
and keep it all alive and growing. So we have beautiful greenhouses, and that's how I started in relations to reading the first Anastasia book, where she goes through the whole seed process.
Mhm.
Um, and uses them in the mouth and has that beautiful ritual. So we have those going. We have three outdoor I'm pointing there because it's just behind me, but three outdoor raised beds as well. So we've got everything growing right now, which is really beautiful. So
Yeah.
it's live and we do have problems with like our soil and so we're learning a lot about the earth, which is changing incredibly like every season, every year it's always different. So it's another level of like learning about the elements, what's going on. Some people have bumper tomato crops in summer, and then others have a huge amount of problems growing other things. So
Mhm.
that's where the community comes in, and we share what we don't get and what we do get abundance of. So that's really important. But and then moving into the seed area of like the medicinal side of it, that's where my level of understanding comes in with the hands and working with those seeds in the lines of the hands and activating them to the highest potential. So you grab some seeds from a gardening shop, and they won't, like, they might not be organic, but if you do this process where I've channeled the information for the seed and then you put them into the earth, there's 3 seasons that it will take to be an organic plant. So you've got perennials and that it'll turn over. So you'll finally have these beautiful, and then you can start pulling the seeds from,
Nice.
the flowers. Yeah. So you're working with, nature as well, and planting.
Yeah, because a
You'll get
lot of them, they're like, you have a hard time finding the organic version sometimes, it seems like.
really, yeah,
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 that's
yeah,
really cool.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
sharing as well, like showing people this process and then sharing everybody's versions of how they've done it as well. So it
Mhm.
is a beautiful, enriching experience that you can grow with people as well, because they're going to have amazing ideas. I have got the copper, but I haven't done that in the soil yet. I want to try that this summer.
Oh yeah, electroculture. Yeah.
Yeah. Have
I'm
you
very
got that?
excited about that too, even though I have probably a brown thumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very distractible. So it's just like, oh, I forgot to water the plants. Oh, it's 5 days late and I water them. You
Yeah.
know, I'm quite bad. My husband's really good at that stuff, so I'm hoping he'll become the gardener.
Well, that's the same as my husband. I have the visions and the ideas, and he goes out and spreads the beauty on the land. So, yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Teamwork.
really good. Teamwork, yes, it's true.
Yeah,
And that's the
yeah,
male female thing, really. Um, Another thing I wanted to bring up was like right now the weather is topsy-turvy. So anything that you can do to enhance what you're doing when it comes to growing food is good.
yeah,
Um, it will probably take a couple of years for the weather, once they stop messing with it, to really stabilize.
yeah, yeah. The
Yeah.
hardest thing is when you bring in soil, and you work like, and then you you pull out all the crops that have gone, and then you pump up the soil again and everything, and then you've got to kind of always maintain, because those nutrients in that soil that you're bringing in, the compost and everything, fertilizer, they don't have anything in it. It's almost like you've got that dead soil and it has to be turned around all the time.
Yeah.
So really working with the soil and putting in those nutrients that are really needed, so you can constantly get the harvest every time.
Yeah. That's really important. It's rare that you can find that black dirt, like that super rich, amazing dirt. I've
Yeah,
only seen it a couple times in my entire life.
yeah,
Just seeing, and you're like, wow, I wonder what that would grow.
yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have that in this area. It's clay based, so we've always had to work really hard. But on the other side of the mountain, they've got that rich volcanic soil, which is like that
Oh,
deep. Yeah, so you work with what you got, and it just shows you how much love that you can put into something as well
oh
when you
yeah.
really want to.
Yeah, you really can. You can change everything with that frequency. That's why what you're doing with the seeds and the essences is so important. And you're learning how to do frequency with the body, you know, that kind of stuff. Like it's just fabulous, really.
Yeah, it is. And that's one of the reasons why I made a vibrational essence for the soil. It was a soil regenerator, and I had it out for an entire month, with the correct nutrients that were required for the most perfect soil. And then I had all the like celestial energies coming down into it. And so then you put that into a watering can, and you just water your soil, um, with
Wow.
that and your plants and your veggies. So yeah, it's really important. We got to
It
start
is.
thinking outside the box.
We really do. And with everybody like getting their gifts coming in and stuff, like what you can put into it is so much stronger than maybe what you could have a year ago. I think we've all changed massively over this last year. Really feels like it. Like if you're progressing at all, then you're kind of different somewhat than you used to be. You're not talking about the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, the
Yeah.
level of understanding from, I can definitely say from like last year to, I might not have understood something that was coming through. So I kind of like, I don't get that. So I'll just put it to the side. And then it's almost like everything speeded up, like that download is like, oh, yes, that's come back in my space now. And I can fully grasp what's actually like what I need to do with it now.
Yeah. It's so good. It's like the human brain is now receiving it and comprehending it, whereas before we were just receiving it.
Yep.
Yeah. So we had all these downloads, and I don't get downloads like with my ear ringing off the charts as much anymore. Mostly it just comes in and I just know, and I'm like, wow, you know. So things
Yeah.
are really changing a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's almost like the reflection in nature is what's also going, like, I mean, not what it is, but it actually is, like everything's changing out there, and it's like that mirroring effect.
It really is, like everything's rising, not just us, but everything. So I wanted to talk about trees because I saw this crazy thing that trees are, I know they're in a network, but they actually speak to each other, and they could speak to each other from hundreds of miles away. They are healing each other, and they will keep like a stump alive for, I think they said like 30 years. So
Yeah.
trees are amazing. And I feel like they've stepped up too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Hmm.
That reminds me, when you said that, I had the most incredible experience. I was talking to one of my friends she lives in Massachusetts, and it's a beautiful tree, beautiful area, and she goes for walks. And we were doing a session on each other, and the tree, I've never been to America, so I don't know what her property looks like, but I remember seeing a tree coming forward to me and saying that it wanted to connect with her, and all she needed to do was place her hands on the tree and connect. And then they showed me that the tree would, because she wanted to go overseas to Europe. So with that particular tree, when she placed her hands on it, would connect to every single tree around the planet, and in particular, this area that she wanted to visit in Europe. And so then that tree would bring all the information back to this tree and then pass it on to her. And I thought, oh my gosh, the amount of information that we are so unaware of that is available to us is incredible.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Like we're not going to need cell phones in the future. That's for sure.
We just connect to the oak tree. Hey, honey, go connect to the oak tree.
Well, we'll have our own telepathy, but like there's so much magic in trees that I think has been lost on purpose. Like it's definitely been suppressed. And that's why they cut down all the redwood grandfather trees and grandmother trees, like the huge trees. And they've done that all over the place. So I think trees are going to be respected and treated like the sentient beings that they are.
Exactly. Because their connection to the divine is like up, down, anchored in. And it's like, we're going to know that they are the most, powerful beings that, give us the charging energy that we need to be here.
Yeah. I don't really think anybody should cut down a tree. They can move them when they're little And they don't really get a soul, I don't think, until they're about 8. It feels like, I
Wow.
mean, yeah, they get a soul once they're big enough to hold it or something, is what I heard.
Yep.
And that came in as a yes. So they make sure that the little tree's gonna make it, and then a soul will come into it. But they're amazing. And if you think about the ringing cedars and the amount of information, there's so much information in a ringing cedar that it starts to ring when it's 500 years old, and then it explodes because it's got so much going on in there. I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty big.
I used to have one of the ringing cedar pendants when back in 2007, and people used to come up to me and, like, because it's just a circle piece of cedar, and they would say, where did you get that? So you like the emanation of it, it was just incredible.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think that besides the cedar trees, there are other trees out there that do that? Would that be the redwoods as well?
I know the redwoods, I think they all do it, honestly.
Okay.
As far as exploding, I don't know about that, but they all contain so much knowledge, because you can sit with a tree and you're going to be enhanced, like talking to your soul. Everything is going to get enhanced that you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And they're really here to, like, be around us and interact with us. And we have totally forgotten about what they're here for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and they provide us with a lot of oxygen.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember about 10 years ago, I must have been going through a big shift, and I was hugging the oak tree next to our house, and I
Mhm.
just really surrendered. And about 10 minutes in, my whole entire body started to vibrate. I actually thought I was going to go into the tree. So I, like, it was just like, whoa, like just that incredible exchange.
Wow. I just
Yeah.
love that. Yeah. I had a favorite tree that got hit by lightning. Um, we had this huge storm, and it was massive, and it was like a split tree, like it came up and split, and half of it got, like, knocked off, and it was so sad. It was like, you just ached for that tree because it was so terrible
Yeah.
what happened.
What do you think what happens in that regards? Is that a releasing of energy when something like that happens with lightning?
Yeah, I feel like they attract it, like they're ready to
Yeah.
release,
Yeah.
but I still didn't like it. It's like,
No, we had a
yeah.
storm in 2021, I believe. There was a massive one in Victoria. Uh, Thousands of trees came down, and in the morning, it was absolute chaos. Everybody awoke to this. Yeah, it was incredible. And I got that the trees are like acupuncture points. And being in Victoria, as you know, Australia, it has a lot of energy to release.
Oh,
So
it
it's almost like
does.
those trees were like, okay, it's time to let go of this, built up energy, and they just come
Mhm.
roots. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and the souls know, so they take off. But they are, I mean, obviously that would be like an acupuncture point. That's very relevant.
Yeah.
I never would have thought it that way. I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah. Releasing pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many things that are happening right now on Earth, as far as, or whatever we're on. Like in Africa, it's splitting. Africa is splitting.
Wow.
And yeah, there's this huge trench that's just opening up. Um, it's just crazy. And nobody talks about any of this stuff.
Yeah.
So, you find it on social media. That's where you find the real news these days.
Yeah.
But I just think that as we go through this process of ascension, everything around us is going to be more and more relevant to our whole lives, including the plants. Like, and they may tell you, no, you can't have me. You can't eat me, you know, or they may be like, here I am, you know,
Yeah.
who knows really. It's weird because I don't know if you've noticed this, but like things that you eat are different now too. And you're figuring out what your body likes. I had granola the other night and I was like, I don't want to eat granola for dinner. And my body's like, yeah, I want it. I want it. Okay. So
Completely.
I had a cup of granola and the next morning I woke up with a horrible sinus headache. And I was like, what was that? Why did we eat the granola? My body says, oh, it was a test. Like, rude. So you just don't know like what kind of weirdness is going to come through anymore, really.
Yeah. Yeah. And I find that I'm actually eating way less, like almost one
Yeah.
meal a day now. It's, yeah, I can't eat past 2 o'clock. So
Okay.
it's almost like, yeah, it's my body just wants to like settle. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, just, and in the morning, it's almost like I'm just having like this lunch right now, and that's all I need. And then tomorrow could be completely different. And it's depending on the energy, right? So sometimes when
Yeah.
there's amounts of energy, like I'll just be grazing all day. But for
Mhm.
now, it's, yeah, consuming less
Yeah.
and lots.
A lot of fruit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I eat a lot of fruit. My body is like obsessed with fruit. And so I don't know. Just do whatever your body wants, is what I'd say.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it
I
will
follow friends.
get you.
It's like, what do you want?
Yeah. What do you want? Because if you don't do it, then you feel horrible,
Mhm.
you know, and you can bless the food and do all that kind of stuff. And that helps a little bit at this point, I think. But our bodies are changing so rapidly too that they
Yeah.
really are like picking what we eat. And sometimes the body's confused too. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to eat oats anymore for a long time, probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So funny. I mean, I'm totally into fish right now. So, and like seaweed and kelp, like and oils. So,
Yeah.
you know, and that's changed. You know, last week I wasn't. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so important to listen to you.
Yep. Listen to you, listen to your body.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, is there anything that you want to let the audience know about that's happening right now with you?
Um, I'm going through my own kind of, you know, transition of like moving out of like old energy and always open to the new. So that's where I'm at right now. And my classes are on Honey's site, which is exciting. Yeah, and I'm creating new essences all the time for people, just doing them like on a regular basis of their soul signature essences. So
Yeah.
that's also on your class. So how to actually teach how to make your own. So which is a beautiful process of, you know, wanting to learn like, you know, what's out there, doing it yourself and creating your own, and then how to actually work with the elements, earth, air, fire, water, and
Mhm.
bringing that in. So yeah, I mean, those classes are so good and exciting because I feel like it is the new, it's expanding into that. So
It is. Yeah. It's basically, I would say it's fourth density. It's really sixth density, but it will work in fourth. And you're bringing it into, I don't know what density we're going to end up in at this point anymore, but I know that we're going to vibrate right along with the ETs. So eventually we will see them, and we will see the Tartarians because they've all ascended. So, like, what do we want to have in the future? We're going to have to get more advanced with a lot of different things, and it's going to be about vibration.
Yeah.
So if you can start now, I think it's fantastic. And just think about the nutrients that you're going to get out of food that has a higher vibration. Your body's going to be happier. It's going to vibrate higher. Like if I tried to eat a Twinkie right now, it'd be horrible.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Consequences.
Yeah. I'd be sick for probably 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so there's just certain things that our body is not going to have anymore. And
Yeah.
it will tell you. Yeah.
The other thing that we spoke about before was the 3 seeds of creations, which has come through to do with the 3 seeds within the body. So I'm actually I've got that coming in, which is really exciting, and it has to do with cellular regeneration and reverse aging. So I hold space for that and take you through an incredible guided meditation. So that's new, and that's exciting, and it's incredibly and beautiful experience. So.
I can't wait for that. So let us know in the comments if you're interested in that.
Yes.
I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Oh, it was so good to see you. And I'm so excited for the future and to actually meet you in person and see all this stuff working.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that. So
let's plant seeds.
Yes.
Yay.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, well, thank you so much, Melina.
Thank you, honey.
Thank you.
Always good. Yep.
Thank you. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.